My child, before you scroll away, I want you to stay with me for just a few moments. There is something you have been carrying that no one else can fully see. You smile when people are watching, yet your heart has quietly whispered questions that only I have heard. You have wondered if your kindness mattered. You have questioned whether your prayers reached heaven. You have asked yourself if anyone truly understands who you are. Today, I want you to remember something that the world often forgets. The opinions of people can change in a single moment, but my love for you has never changed. There may be someone who finally recognized the strength they once overlooked in you. Perhaps they have begun to see your character, your patience, your faithfulness, or the quiet courage you showed when life became difficult. Whether that realization comes today, tomorrow, or years from now, your value has never depended on another person's recognition. Long before anyone noticed you, I knew you. Long before anyone believed in you, I called you by name. Long before anyone understood your heart, I saw every tear that fell in secret. You have spent too much time measuring yourself by voices that never created you. But I am the one who formed you with purpose. I know every chapter of your story, including the pages you wish you could erase. Even those moments have not separated you from my care. Remember what my word says. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That truth is not reserved for someone else. It is for you. You are not an accident. You are not forgotten. You are not beyond hope. Even when people misunderstood your intentions, I understood them. Even when doors closed in front of you, I remained beside you. Even when silence surrounded your prayers, I was already working in ways you could not yet see. Sometimes I allow waiting because I am preparing your heart for something greater than you imagined. Do not mistake waiting for abandonment. Do not confuse silence with my absence. Seeds grow underground long before anyone sees a harvest. Your life is no different. Perhaps someone recently spoke about you. Maybe they finally admitted that you were stronger than they expected. Maybe they realized they judged you too quickly. Maybe they recognized qualities they once ignored. Whether that happened or not, I want you to understand something deeper. Your identity has never depended on human approval. It has always rested in me. People may misunderstand your motives. They may walk away. They may fail to appreciate your sacrifices. But I never overlook even the smallest act of faith, done with a sincere heart. Every prayer, every act of kindness, every moment you chose forgiveness instead of bitterness. I saw it all. Nothing has been wasted. You have survived days you thought would break you forever. Yet here you are, breathing, growing, still seeking me. That alone is evidence that my grace has carried you farther than you realize. I know there are moments when loneliness whispers lies. It tells you that you are invisible. It tells you that you missed your purpose. It tells you that your best days are behind you. Do not believe those voices. Listen instead to mine. I am still writing your story. The chapter you are living is not the ending. There is healing that has not yet reached you. There is peace you have not yet experienced. There is joy waiting beyond this season. Trust me, one step at a time. Not because every answer is already visible, but because I have never stopped walking beside you. So before we continue, I want you to quiet every fearful thought for just a moment. Take a deep breath. Remember who holds your future. Remember who called you his own. Remember who has loved you from the beginning. And as this message continues, keep your heart open. You may discover that what you have been searching for was never the approval of another person. It was the reminder that you have always been deeply known, deeply loved, and never beyond my reach. Because, my child, the greatest truth anyone could ever reveal about you is the same truth I declared long ago. You belong to me, my child. You have spent too much time believing the voices that spoke from pain instead of truth. Some people looked at your struggles and assumed they knew your future. They saw your failures, but never your faith. They noticed your scars, but overlooked the strength I was building within you. Do not let their limited vision become the measure of your worth. I have never called you by your mistakes. I call you by your purpose. When others counted you out, I was preparing you. When they walked away, I remained. When your heart was breaking in silence, I collected every tear, and not one of them was meaningless. Remember how I strengthened David before he became a king? Remember how Joseph was rejected before he was honored? Remember how Ruth remained faithful before she saw restoration? I have always worked through seasons that seemed confusing before revealing my greater plan. If your life feels delayed, do not assume it is denied. There are blessings that require preparation. There are prayers that cannot be answered until your heart is ready to receive them with humility and wisdom. Trust my timing, even when you cannot understand it. You may be waiting for someone to recognize your value, to apologize, or to finally see the goodness I placed within you. But hear me clearly. Your identity is not determined by another person's opinion. It is established by my love. I created you with intention. I have placed gifts within you that no disappointment can erase. The world may overlook what I treasure, but I never make mistakes. So, stop speaking over yourself the words that fear has whispered. Stop agreeing with every lie that says you are not enough. Instead, stand on my promises. You are loved. You are chosen. You are never alone. And even now, while you cannot see the whole picture, I am arranging circumstances for your good. Keep walking with me. Keep trusting my word. The story is not over, my child. What I have begun in your life, I am faithful to complete. My child, I know the silence has been difficult for you. There have been nights when you lay awake asking, Lord, where are you? You prayed with all your heart, yet the answer did not come as quickly as you hoped. You searched for a sign, but all you found was another day that looked exactly like the one before. Do not mistake my silence for my absence. There are seasons when I speak through stillness because I want your faith to grow deeper than your feelings. If you only trusted me when everything made sense, your faith would depend on circumstances instead of my character. I have never abandoned those who seek me. Think of Noah. The rain did not begin the moment I gave him instructions. He built the ark day after day while many laughed at him. It must have seemed like nothing was happening. Yet every nail he drove into that ark was an act of faith. When the appointed time arrived, what looked like foolishness became the very thing that preserved life. Your obedience matters, even when you cannot yet see the outcome. Think of Abraham. I promised him descendants as countless as the stars, but the promise took years to unfold. There were moments when waiting seemed unbearable, yet my promise never failed because my timing is perfect. Perhaps you are in a season like that now. You wonder why doors have remained closed. You wonder why relationships have changed. You wonder why opportunities disappeared just when you thought they were meant for you. What if those closed doors were not punishment, but protection? What if I was keeping you from something that would have stolen your peace? What if the delay you resent today becomes the reason you praise me tomorrow? You cannot always see what I see. I know the conversations that happen behind closed doors. I know the paths that would lead you away from my purpose. I know the people who will encourage your faith and those who would quietly weaken it. Because I love you, I sometimes say, not yet, and sometimes I say, no, so that one day you can rejoice in the yes I have prepared. Trust my wisdom more than your understanding. My word reminds you in Proverbs 3:5-6 to trust in me with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Those words are not merely comforting. They are an invitation to place your future in my hands. You do not have to carry tomorrow before it arrives. You do not have to solve every problem tonight. You do not have to earn my love. Rest in the truth that I am already at work. Even when you cannot see me moving, I am arranging circumstances beyond your sight. I am shaping your character. I am strengthening your patience. I am teaching you to rely on me instead of the fragile promises of this world. The greatest miracles often begin where human strength ends. When the Israelites stood before the Red Sea, they could not imagine a way forward. Yet I made a path where none existed. When Daniel was surrounded by lions, my presence was greater than his fear. When Paul and Silas worshipped in prison, chains were broken in ways no one expected. I have not changed. The same God who opened seas, shut the mouths of lions, and raised Christ from the grave is still faithful today. So, my child, do not give up, because the answer has not arrived yet. Do not stop praying, because heaven seems quiet. Do not stop believing, because your circumstances have not changed. Sometimes, the greatest transformation begins inside your heart before it becomes visible in your life. I am teaching you endurance. I am building your faith. I am preparing you for blessings that require a stronger foundation than you have today. One day you will look back on this season and realize that what felt like silence was actually my loving hand guiding every step. Until then, keep walking with me. Keep opening my word. Keep choosing forgiveness over bitterness, hope over fear, and faith over doubt. I have never lost sight of you. I never will. The story I am writing for your life is still unfolding, and every page is held securely in my hands. Trust me, my child. The dawn always follows the darkest night, and my faithfulness will never fail you. My child, There is something I want you to release today. Release the burden of trying to prove your worth to people who have already made up their minds about you. For too long, you have carried the heavy weight of wanting everyone to understand your heart. You have replayed conversations, questioned your decisions, and wondered if you could have said something differently or done something better. You have spent precious energy trying to earn acceptance that only I can truly give. Listen carefully. You do not have to prove to people what I have already declared over your life. When I created you, I did not ask the world for permission. When I called you, I did not consult the opinions of others. When I placed gifts within you, I knew exactly what I was doing. So why are you allowing the voices around you to become louder than my voice? Remember who you are. You are not defined by rejection. You are not defined by betrayal. You are not defined by failure. You are not defined by the labels people placed on you during moments when they could not see what I was doing inside you. You are my beloved child. That identity is stronger than criticism. It is stronger than disappointment. It is stronger than every lie the enemy tries to whisper into your heart. There will always be people who misunderstand your intentions. Some will judge you without knowing your story. Others will leave before they discover the person I am shaping you to become. Do not let their decision determine your direction. Keep your eyes on me. Think about Peter. He stumbled. He denied me 3 times. Many would have assumed his story was over, but I saw beyond his failure. I saw the leader he would become after repentance and restoration. I did not abandon him because he fell. I lifted him up and gave him new purpose. That is how I see you. I do not define you by your worst day. I see who you are becoming as you continue to trust me. Perhaps you have asked, Lord, why has this season been so difficult? Because some lessons cannot be learned in comfort. Gold is refined in fire. Faith grows through testing. Character is formed when you choose obedience. Even when the road is hard, do not fear the refining process. I am not trying to destroy you. I am removing what does not belong so that my light can shine more clearly through your life. Some relationships have ended because they were only meant for a season. Some opportunities disappeared because they would have distracted you from my purpose. Some prayers were answered differently than you expected because I could see what you could not. Trust that my wisdom reaches beyond your understanding. My child, comparison has stolen enough of your joy. Stop looking at someone else's blessings and wondering why your life looks different. I have never asked you to become someone else. I created you with a unique purpose, unique gifts, and a unique journey. The path I prepared for David was different from the one I prepared for Moses. The path I prepared for Esther was different from the one I prepared for Ruth. Yet each fulfilled the purpose I had for them by trusting me where they were. The same is true for you. You do not need another person's calling. You only need faithfulness in your own. Celebrate the victories of others without believing they diminish your own future. What I have prepared for you cannot be taken by someone else. No person can cancel what I have established according to my will. Walk forward with confidence, not because life will always be easy, but because I will always be with you. When fear tells you that you are alone, remember that I walk beside you. When anxiety tells you that tomorrow will overwhelm you, remember that my grace will meet you there. When doubt whispers that nothing will ever change, remember the empty tomb. The resurrection reminds you that I bring life where people expect only endings. Never forget that hope is stronger than despair, because I am the source of hope. Even now, I am opening doors you cannot yet see. I am placing people in your path who will encourage your faith instead of weakening it. I am teaching you to depend on me more than circumstances. I am preparing blessings that are rooted not merely in comfort, but in my purpose for your life. So, do not give up. Keep praying even when the answer seems delayed. Keep serving even when no one applauds. Keep loving even when others fail to love you in return. Keep forgiving, not because the pain was acceptable, but because I desire freedom for your heart. Keep believing my promises, even when your emotions try to convince you otherwise. The world changes constantly. My promises do not. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. I have never failed my children, and I will not begin with you. Lift your eyes beyond today's struggle. There is more ahead than behind. There is healing where you thought there would only be hurt. There is peace beyond the storm. There is purpose beyond the pain. And there is joy that no circumstance can permanently steal from those who trust in me. So stand firm. Walk by faith. Choose hope again today. Not because every question has been answered, but because the one who holds every answer also holds your hand. I have not forgotten your prayers. I have not overlooked your tears. I have not abandoned your future. I am working even when you cannot see it. I am leading even when you cannot feel it. And I will remain faithful because faithfulness is my nature. Before we continue, if this message has encouraged your heart and reminded you of God's unchanging love, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who may need this encouragement today, and subscribe to the channel for more Christ-centered messages rooted in biblical hope. Your support helps these messages reach people who may be searching for comfort, strength, and the truth of God's Word. Now, stay with me, my child. My child, there is a truth I want to plant deep within your heart today. The seasons that felt empty were never wasted. You have looked back on certain chapters of your life and wondered why they had to happen. You questioned why prayers seemed delayed, why opportunities slipped away, why relationships ended, and why the road became so much harder than you expected. You thought you were losing time, but I was building something that could not be rushed. A tree does not become strong because of one sunny day. Its roots grow deeper through seasons of wind, rain, and drought. In the same way, I have been strengthening your faith beneath the surface. Much of my work happens where human eyes cannot see. People celebrate what is visible. I prepare what is invisible first. Before David stood before Goliath, he learned faithfulness while caring for sheep in lonely fields. No crowds applauded him there. No songs were sung about him. Yet every quiet moment prepared him for the day the whole nation would know his name. Never underestimate your hidden seasons. They are often the places where I accomplish my greatest work. Perhaps you have felt overlooked. You watched others receive recognition while your efforts went unnoticed. You wondered if anyone appreciated your sacrifices. You questioned whether your quiet obedience mattered. It mattered to me. Every time you chose integrity, when dishonesty seemed easier, I saw it. Every time you forgave, instead of holding onto bitterness, I saw it. Every time you prayed through tears, instead of giving up, I saw it. Every time you trusted me, despite uncertainty, I saw it. Nothing done in faith is ever forgotten. The world often rewards appearance. I look at the heart. That is why you must not become discouraged when people misunderstand you. They can only judge what they see. I see what no one else can. I know your motives. I know your struggles. I know the battles you never speak about. I know the victories that happened quietly inside your heart when you chose faith over fear. Those victories matter more than you realize. Do not compare your journey with someone else's. Comparison steals gratitude and blinds you to the blessings already growing around you. You see another person's success. I see the entire story. You see today's circumstances. I see tomorrow's purpose. Trust that my plan for you is personal. Just as I gave Noah an ark instead of a palace, and Moses a staff instead of a sword, I have given you exactly what you need for this season. You may think it is not enough, but I specialize in using what seems small. A shepherd's sling defeated a giant. 5 loaves and 2 fish fed thousands. A mustard seed became a picture of growing faith. Never despise small beginnings. The smallest step of obedience can become the beginning of a testimony that encourages countless others. My child, there are moments when discouragement will knock on the door of your heart. It will tell you that nothing is changing. It will whisper that your prayers are pointless. It will try to convince you that hope only leads to disappointment. Do not invite those lies to stay. Answer them with my truth. My promises are greater than your fears. My faithfulness is stronger than your doubts. My love reaches deeper than your pain. When you feel weak, remember that my strength is made perfect in weakness. When you feel uncertain, remember that I already know the end from the beginning. When you feel alone, remember that I have promised never to leave you nor forsake you. Hold tightly to those promises. Do not allow temporary emotions to rewrite eternal truth. There may even be people who suddenly begin to notice the change in your life. They may wonder why you carry peace in difficult moments. They may ask why you continue to hope when circumstances seem impossible. The answer is not because your life has been free from hardship. The answer is because I have been faithful through every hardship. Your testimony is not the absence of storms. Your testimony is my presence in the middle of them. Never forget that. Some blessings arrive quickly. Others take years to unfold. Both are gifts when received according to my timing. If I gave you everything the moment you asked, you might miss the lessons that prepare your heart to steward those blessings with wisdom and humility. So when waiting feels difficult, remember that waiting with me is never wasted. It is preparation. It is growth. It is trust, becoming stronger than fear. And while you wait, continue to worship. Continue to serve. Continue to love. Continue to believe. Do not allow disappointment to become the loudest voice in your life. Instead, let my word fill your thoughts. Let prayer become your refuge. Let gratitude become your habit. Even in seasons when life feels uncertain, there is always a reason to thank me. Thank me for the breath in your lungs. Thank me for the strength to keep moving forward. Thank me for the grace that carried you through yesterday and will carry you through tomorrow. A grateful heart begins to notice my fingerprints everywhere. You will see my provision in unexpected places. You will recognize my guidance in moments that once seemed ordinary. You will understand that I have been with you every step of the journey. One day you will look back and realize that what appeared to be delays were actually divine appointments. The doors that remained closed protected you. The unanswered prayers shaped you. The difficult seasons strengthened you. The painful goodbyes redirected you. Nothing was meaningless. I was weaving every thread together with wisdom and love. So, lift your head, my child. Do not let your past define your future. Do not let today's struggle steal tomorrow's hope. Keep your eyes fixed on me. Walk one faithful step at a time. Continue to trust my promises, even when you cannot yet see their fulfillment. For I am the author and finisher of your faith. The story I am writing is far more beautiful than anything fear could imagine. Your greatest days are not determined by your past mistakes, but by my unchanging grace. So keep walking, keep believing, keep hoping. I am still working, I am still leading, and in my perfect time, you will see that every season, even the painful ones, was held securely in my loving hands. My child, there is an invisible battle taking place within your heart. It is not only a battle between hope and disappointment. It is a battle between fear and faith. Every day, fear tries to convince you that you are not ready, not strong enough, not wise enough, or not capable enough to fulfill the purpose I have placed before you. It whispers that your past is too broken, your mistakes are too great, and your future is too uncertain. But fear has never spoken for me. My voice brings peace, even when it calls you into something difficult. My voice brings courage, even when the path ahead is unknown. My voice reminds you that you never walk alone. So today, I ask you to stop listening to the lies that have kept you standing still. Fear says, "What if you fail?" Faith says, "What if God is with you?" Fear says, "You are not enough." Faith says, "My grace is sufficient for you." Fear says, "The mountain is too high." Faith says, "Nothing is impossible with God." Which voice will you choose to believe? Remember Joshua. When he stood at the edge of the promised land, the challenges before him were real. The cities were fortified. The enemies were strong. The future was uncertain. Yet I did not promise Joshua that every obstacle would disappear. Instead, I told him to be strong and courageous, because I would be with him wherever he went. That promise remains true for my children today. Courage does not mean the absence of fear. It means choosing to trust me, even when fear is present. Some of the greatest acts of faith in Scripture were performed by ordinary people who simply believed that I was greater than their circumstances. Esther did not know how everything would unfold when she approached the king. Daniel did not know how I would deliver him from the lion's den. Mary did not fully understand how my plan would unfold when she said, "Let it be to me according to your word." They moved forward in faith. That is what I ask of you. Do not wait until every question has been answered before taking your next step. If you could see the entire journey, faith would no longer be necessary. Sometimes I reveal only the next step because I want your heart to remain close to mine. Walk with me one day at a time. Do not borrow tomorrow's worries. Today's grace is enough for today's challenges. Tomorrow's grace will arrive tomorrow. How often have you exhausted yourself imagining problems that never happened? How many peaceful moments have been stolen because your mind was trapped in what if? My child, I did not create you to live as a prisoner of anxiety. I created you to walk in freedom. Whenever anxious thoughts begin to overwhelm you, bring them to me. Talk with me. Pray honestly. You do not need impressive words. You do not need perfect prayers. Simply come to me with your heart. I already know what burdens you carry. I know the dreams you are afraid to speak aloud. I know the disappointments you still struggle to understand. Nothing surprises me. Nothing is too heavy for me. Lay your burdens before me and allow my peace to guard your heart. The peace I give is different from what the world offers. The world says peace comes when every problem is solved. I say, peace comes from knowing that I remain faithful, even while problems still exist. That is why Paul could sing praises while sitting in prison. That is why the disciples found hope after the resurrection. Their circumstances had not always been easy, but my presence transformed everything. Do not underestimate the power of my presence. One moment with me can restore hope that years of discouragement tried to destroy. One word from my truth can silence countless lies. One act of obedience can change the direction of an entire life. Never believe that your small acts of faith are insignificant. When you choose kindness instead of revenge, heaven notices. When you choose honesty instead of compromise, heaven notices. When you choose prayer instead of panic, heaven notices. When you choose worship while waiting, heaven notices. I delight in a heart that continues to trust me, even when the outcome is uncertain. Perhaps you have been asking me for a miracle. Do not overlook the miracle I am already performing within you. The person you are becoming is part of my answer. You are more patient than you once were, more compassionate, more dependent on me, more aware of my faithfulness. Those changes are evidence that my Spirit is working in your life. Growth often happens so gradually that you do not recognize it until you look back. So stop measuring your life only by visible success. Measure it by growing faith. Measure it by increasing love. Measure it by a heart that longs to honor me. Those are treasures that never fade. Remember, my child, I have never asked you to carry the future alone. I simply ask you to trust the one who already holds it. When the road becomes steep, I will strengthen you. When your heart grows weary, I will renew you. When you stumble, my mercy will lift you again. You are not walking toward an uncertain future. You are walking with a faithful God. Even if the path twists in ways you do not understand, I know exactly where it leads. Every step surrendered to me has purpose. Every prayer offered in faith has value. Every act of obedience plants seeds that will bear fruit in my perfect time. So do not allow fear to become louder than my promises. Open my word daily. Fill your heart with truth instead of worry. Choose gratitude instead of complaint. Choose forgiveness instead of bitterness. Choose faith instead of fear. And when you fall, do not remain on the ground. Rise again. Come back to me. My mercy is new every morning. I have not called you to live a life controlled by fear. I have called you to walk in faith, strengthened by my Spirit, and anchored in my love. So lift your eyes, my child. The journey ahead is not one you must travel alone. I will guide you when you need wisdom. I will comfort you when your heart is broken. I will correct you when you wander. I will celebrate every step of faithful obedience. Trust me, not because life will always be easy, but because I will always be faithful. Keep moving forward. Keep believing. Keep praying. The victory you long to see begins with a heart that refuses to let fear have the final word. For I am with you always, and nothing can separate you from my love. My child, you have spent enough time worrying about tomorrow. You have imagined conversations that never happen. You have feared outcomes that never came. You have carried burdens that were never yours to carry. Come closer to me now, and let your heart become still. I know what tomorrow holds. I know the questions that keep you awake when the world around you has gone quiet. I know the dreams you have almost stopped praying about because disappointment has visited your heart too many times. I know the promises you are still waiting to see fulfilled. I know the silent battles you fight that no one else knows exist. Nothing about your future is hidden from me. Before the sun rises each morning, I already know every moment that day will bring. Before you speak your prayers, I know every word resting in your heart. Before you take your next step, I have already gone before you. That does not mean life will never be difficult. It means you will never face difficulty alone. There is a difference. Many people spend their lives searching for certainty. They believe peace comes when every question has an answer. But true peace comes from trusting the one who already knows every answer. That is why I tell you again and again, throughout my word, do not be afraid. Not because your journey will be free of challenges, but because my presence is greater than every challenge you will ever face. When storms come, remember the disciples on the Sea of Galilee. The wind was real. The waves were real. Their fear was real. Yet I was in the boat with them. The storm did not surprise me. Neither does yours. Sometimes I calm the storm around you. Sometimes I calm the storm within you. Both are miracles, my child. I want you to stop believing that your setbacks have canceled my plans. No disappointment is greater than my ability to redeem. No failure is stronger than my mercy. No broken dream is beyond my power to restore according to my will. Look at Peter. After denying me, he believed he had failed beyond repair. Yet I restored him. Look at Jonah. After running from my calling, I still showed him mercy and gave him another opportunity. Look at the Apostle Paul. The man who once persecuted believers became one of the greatest messengers of my grace. Do you see the pattern? I am a God of redemption. I delight in bringing beauty from ashes. If you place your life in my hands, your past does not have to become your prison. Your mistakes can become reminders of my mercy. Your scars can become testimonies of my healing. Your weakness can become a place where my strength shines brightest. So stop introducing yourself by your failures. Introduce yourself by my grace. You are not who fear says you are. You are not who shame says you are. You are who I say you are. Chosen, forgiven, loved, called. Never forget those truths. The world will constantly try to assign your value according to success, popularity, appearance, or achievement. I measure differently. I look at the heart. A humble heart delights me. A faithful heart honors me. A grateful heart draws close to me. Those treasures cannot be purchased, and they cannot be stolen. If you seek my kingdom first, everything else will find its proper place. Do not spend your life chasing what fades while neglecting what lasts forever. Invest in kindness. Invest in compassion. Invest in forgiveness. Invest in truth. Invest in prayer. These are treasures that neither time nor circumstance can destroy. Perhaps you wonder if you have missed your opportunity. Hear me clearly. As long as you have breath, I am still able to work in your life. Your purpose is not determined by your age. It is determined by your willingness to trust me today. Moses was 80 years old when I called him to lead my people. Caleb declared his strength at 85 because he continued to trust me. Age has never limited my power. Neither has your past. Do not tell yourself that it is too late. Do not surrender your hope because the journey has taken longer than expected. I have not forgotten you. Every delay has had a purpose. Every season has carried a lesson. Every chapter has prepared you for another one. You may only see scattered pieces. I see the completed masterpiece. Imagine a tapestry being woven. From underneath, it appears tangled and confusing. Loose threads seem to have no meaning, but from above, a beautiful picture is taking shape. That is how your life often looks. You see the loose threads. I see the finished design. Trust the hands that are weaving your story. There will come a day when you understand why certain prayers were answered differently than you expected. You will see why certain doors remained closed. You will understand why some people left. You will recognize that what felt like loss often became protection. Until that day, choose trust over fear. Choose worship over worry. Choose faith over doubt. And remember this, my child, your future is not held together by your own strength. It is held securely in my faithful hands.